How are you feeling? How's your energy after a pretty long couple of weeks?
Yeah, I feel great. I'm excited to get back with the guys and finish off this last little stretch.
Matt, just how was the experience in Italy as a whole? Away from hockey, with all the guys. Take us through just the time.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun to be around those guys, play with them, and a lot of those guys I looked up to my whole childhood, and it was an honor to play with them and be around them every single day. But it sucks. It's a little sour that you look back at it and just didn't get the job done.
When you look at just who were you with? Did you room with anybody? I know you guys went to the hotel. You flew in with Drew Doughty. What were conversations with guys like Drew and Sid and obviously Nathan McKinnon and Connor McDavid?
Yeah, it was just it's like normal teammate conversations. They're normal guys. They're nothing special. Obviously they are special, but it's nothing different than everyone else. They're just great people, great guys, and fun to be around.
What did you learn the most about playing with guys like Connor and Nate and a lot of other stars on that team, I guess?
I think just where the bar's at. Those guys play with such pace, and they think the game's so fast, and the level that they play at, the practice that they play at, probably the fastest practices I've ever been a part of, and just being around them, practicing with them, playing with them, it's a different level.
Internally, did you feel like maybe it was a little bit of a measuring stick for you to go with the world's best and not just play with, but lead?
For sure. I think just being around those, like the best of the best, just trying to, obviously that's my goal, and just looking at them and seeing how they approach every day and some of the things that they do to make themselves successful, it definitely helped.
Macklin, is it a little bit bittersweet to lose to the United States and then have to come back here and work?
I don't think the working part has anything to do with it. I think it's just losing. We were so close. Whatever excuses you want to make about the game for us, I think at the end of the day we didn't win. So it's bitter, it's sour that we didn't win and we came that close, especially everything that we kind of fought through. But can't change it now.
How are you a better hockey player today than you were 2 weeks ago?
What?
How are you a better hockey player today than you were 3 weeks ago?
I think just being around those guys, the habits that they play with, the winning mentality, and just their ability to play the right way, and how the team really came together and played off each other.
Is that as good a preparation for a playoff stretch right now for the rest of the season and maybe getting in?
Yeah, I think just some of those habits, like I said, a lot of those guys have won the Stanley Cup and won so many other things, and being around them and just kind of knowing what you have to do to get to that goal, even though we didn't do it, you can see the habits and the preparation that it took.
How long do you think that sour feeling is going to last?
What?
How long do you think that sour feeling is going to last?
Forever.
How'd you get that on your left cheek there?
No, I got hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did. Was it uncalled? Should have been called?
No.
Would you do it again in 4 years?
Would I go back to the Olympics in 4 years? Yeah.
How did you have the Bay support just during the Winter Olympics? How did you have the Bay Area support?
Yeah, it was really cool. Just a lot of Americans probably, but I know that our fans and our community was cheering for not only me but the other Sharks players over there trying to get that gold.
What was your favorite non-hockey moment of the Olympics?
I think just being around the village. Like, we didn't sleep there, but we spent a lot of time there and going to lunch there and stuff, and being around the other athletes and just experiencing that kind of different experience.
What do you bring back to the
family
Sharks
there?
after the Olympics that you can help this team on their second half run towards the playoffs? What mentally or emotionally can you bring back from the Olympics to help this team?
I think just a mindset, and like I said, I think I learned a lot while I was over there, just being around our coaches, some of the best coaches in the league, and some of the best players in the world, and some of the best players that I've ever played, and just their mentality, some of the things that they preach, and I mean, the message around our locker room over there. I think I can bring some of that back and just know what it takes.
How was it having your family there?
It was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, just every off day, just being able to spend it with them and go to lunch or dinner with them. It made it feel like home.
Did it kind of keep you a little grounded in the midst of this crazy experience?
Yeah. It was. I mean, like I said, it was awesome to just have them here or have them there and know that they're there for me and supporting me.
You joked about this feeling like a Canadian market, all the cameras. How much of a motivator is this for you guys for this to be more of a consistent thing when you guys keep winning, more people show up? Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's just this. I think it's just we wanna take those next steps, and I mean, all this comes along with it. The fans, the attention, and we want those expectations. We want that pressure because that means we're doing a good thing and we're trending the right way. So I think just at the end of the day, all this comes into it, and yeah, hopefully you guys come back more.
How did you stay focused under that pressure, being a global stage like the Olympics?
I think I just approached it like I approach every game here. At the end of the day, it's the same game, different goal, different circumstance and different environment, but I mean, we all have the same goal in mind. Just try to do everything you can to help the team win, and yeah, not much changed.
So Macklin, how fun was it to play with Sidney Crosby and McDavid? And then how deflating was it when Crosby went down?
Yeah, I mean, I answered that question a lot while I was over there. It really sucked when he went down. It just, I mean, he's our role model, our leader, and he's been Captain Canada for so long, and just been the guy for Canada and just been the leader. So it just, when he went down, I think it made an impact on all of us. But I mean, we tried to do it for him.
Got a 6-game homestand here, 27 games left. How much will this 6 games here kind of set the tone for the final 27?
I mean, I think we're just going to take it game by game. One game at a time. Tomorrow against Calgary, I think that's what we're focused on. I mean, we can't look too far ahead. We just gotta. It's going to go by fast, but it's going to be long, and you can't look too far ahead. So we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Macklin, apparently it was kind of a trek for you to get back here. You got good to Miami, and apparently the Panthers helped you get back here. So can you kind of describe what happened there?
Yeah, it's tough getting back from Italy when you're on the West Coast. So yeah, I had to piece it together.
Mac, have you had trouble have you had to replay some of those moments in that game over and over in your head? Like, just some of the things that maybe didn't go your guys' way in that game?
Yep, I have. Yeah. I have. I thought about it a lot, but kind of coming to terms with it. We can't change it now. Whatever regrets or plays you want back or chances you didn't finish. I mean, I'm sure our whole team's thinking about that. Mistakes we made. But at the end of the day, we played a good enough game to win. But like I said, that's no excuse. They won it, so can't do anything about it.
What was that group chat like afterwards? I mean, you had guys from the Sharks on Canada. You got guys rooting for USA. What was that group chat between the team like?
It wasn't. Not much. No one really said anything. Yeah, I think it was early, so a lot of guys went back to bed. No, I just asked how I was doing.
How do you feel fatigue-wise overall?
Who?
Fatigue-wise, just like.
I feel great. Just excited to start playing again.
What do you expect that roar to be like for you guys when you're announcing your other Olympic teammates are back in the tank tomorrow night?
Oh, it's gonna be great. Just have the team back. I know a lot of guys. It was a long break, and a lot of guys are just excited to start playing again, especially with our goal in mind. It's exciting.
Are the bandwagon fans kind of welcome now? Because you still made your mark, started a buzz.
I mean, every sports franchise goes through a tough spot, and maybe some fans don't show up. So when you're losing, you can't really expect someone to pay their money to come watch you lose. So we're going to try to change that.
Matt, what can you say about your other Sharks teammates at the Olympics? I mean, obviously Pavol Regenda in Slovakia, semis, and Wenberg and Kurashev having great tournaments. What can you say about them?
Yeah, it was so fun to watch all three of them just battle on that level and that stage. I know I played Kirsch, which was a lot of fun just playing against them, and being on that stage with them was really cool, and just watching the other two. Just obviously Reggie with Slovakia, they had an amazing tournament. They obviously went a long way, and Sweden got a little unlucky with who they faced in the quarters, but it was awesome to watch all three of them.
What can you say about just do you feel almost relief that there's a game so quickly tomorrow? Right, you get one practice. I know it's a quick tournament. But do you feel for yourself and maybe some of the other Olympic guys that there's a game you can kind of get forward really quickly here?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just nice to. I mean, this is what we've been working on the whole year. It's our main goal, and I mean, I think all of us are refocused on this group.
What's the mentality, for Thursday? I talked to Askarov yesterday. He said get 2 points. Is that kind of what you've heard since coming back to the room here?
Yeah, I mean, it's the mentality for every game. You want to win, and you want to kind of, especially how important it is for us. Like I said, we're not going to try to look too far ahead, but I mean, we know how important all these games are.
You mentioned all the media here and also the fans coming back. Of course, you were here last year, day one, and it wasn't like this. And so are you surprised how fast maybe it's come back to what you used to see as a kid here?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's a good question, because, I mean, with the way we're playing right now, and I know we had a tough little stretch before the break, but with the excitement around our team, with the guys we have in that locker room, with the way we've been playing, I'm not really surprised. But I think a lot of people didn't think we'd be in this situation right now, and I think we knew that going into this year. And I mean, we didn't want to just be satisfied with getting another lottery pick.
For the guys that missed out on the eliminations, what's your message to them going forward?
I don't really know. I think just everyone's just excited to get back and playing and get with our group again and just focus on our goal.
Macklin, one thing that we know about you is that you're a very determined athlete, and you want to win every single time you're on the ice. When they put that silver medal over your neck, I saw a look of disappointment, obviously, but also determination and resolve. Do you think that that's something that you're taking out of this tournament and bringing to the rest of your professional career, to always make sure that you have that extra resolve, that little extra special bit of energy?
I mean, that just shows how close it is between winning and losing. And I mean, a lot of people say you learn more from losing than winning, and definitely did. Just that hurt. It hurt when they put the silver medal around our neck. We waited around there for about 30 to 40 minutes after the game, just standing on the ice watching them celebrate. So hopefully I get a few more chances at winning with Hockey Canada, and I get fortunate enough to be on those teams. And I mean, I'm going to remember that, especially as we get going with our group, just, I mean, not taking for granted, just winning.
Macklin, do you have any empathy for United States, having won since 1980, Miracle on Ice? So it's a lot of excitement here in the United States that happened at your expense.
No, I mean, no.
Do you? Where's the silver medal right now? Do you keep it, or do you give it to your family?
It's just back at home.
Yeah. What happened to that stuffed animal? Was that left there?
No, that's just at home too. Yeah. Still in the suitcase.
What do you think about the 3-on-3 to determine something that big?
I mean, it's been a huge debate. A lot of people are complaining about it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same for either side. Like, you each have 3 guys on the ice, so we probably had the 3 best players in the world on the ice. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think you can really complain too much about it. Obviously, it's. I mean, there's a reason that the Stanley Cups isn't determined 3-on-3. But I mean, you can't complain about it or whine about it when. I mean, it's the same for them.
You've got
one or two more questions.
You got Hellebuck coming in here on Sunday. You looking forward to that game again, and just to maybe get another shot at him, kind of thing.
To be honest, not really. I mean, he's probably going to be taking a little bit of time off just after what he went through.
Did you have a chance to play a tourist, or now would you like to go back to visit Italy and actually see it?
Yeah, 100%. I think my great grandparents were from there, and so I'd love to go back.
Mac, last question here. Just being so young in your career, how have you been able to, handle all this pressure? What's your method to kind of maintain this standard of excellence that you kind of set yourself to achieve?
I mean, it's just the same. It's just same approach every day, no matter what situation you're in. Like, that's what I found at the Olympics. That was the biggest stage I've ever played on, and the biggest games I've ever been a part of. So I think it just came back to my same routine, doing all the same things to get prepared, and then whatever happens on the ice happens.
Pavol, first, congratulations for an excellent tournament for yourself and Slovakia. Can you just talk about that's the emotions of that, and just how the tournament, how you think it went for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the tournament, everybody was kind of, frustrated, sad. Like, we didn't finish as we, planned, as we wanted. If you're top four, you want to finish with something on your neck. And, yeah, it was really sad, a couple guys being crying and, got to us later. But, at the end of the day, you got to look like it was a big tournament, big names, big teams. And we have to be proud, like, coming into the tournament, like, people, I don't think anybody in the world like believed us and we can finish top four against players like this. So I'm proud of the team, about the guys, and I feel like people are proud about us too, because it was a huge tournament, and we didn't finish with a bronze, but I feel like we did a huge success for our country. So really proud about that.
What was the identity of your team? I mean, everybody was looking at you guys as the underdogs. How did you guys view yourselves inside that locker room?
Yeah, we came first game, and we jumped on the Finland pretty, with a lot of energy, and that got us going. We won the first game, and we were so high. Then we had a back to game with Italy, and we won again. So, coming to the third game, you won 2 out of 2, so you're feeling really comfortable and confident. So we were just playing hard, playing for each other, and we're like really tight group. Most of the guys grew up together because we were the same age. So we had a fun. We would go out, have a dinner. We would have fun together as well off the ice. So I think that's translated on the ice, and we supported, we fought for each other, and played physical. And we didn't give nothing to those teams. We didn't get scared, and we got rewarded, and we finished the group on the first spot. So we were happy with that. But as I said, we want to finish a different way.
You guys played Sweden in the empty net goal. You used to lose. Have you ever been in a moment like that where that changes so much?
Yeah,
talk me through the emotions there.
Yeah, I mean, we knew coming to the game that if we lose by 2 goals, we're still first, right? So there was we were losing by 3, a couple minutes at the end of the game, and I look at the coach. It's like, hey, do we take a goalie out? It's like, no, we're still second spot. I'm like, okay, so okay. And then they did a penalty, and our guys, we had this pretty strong power play, so they scored, and we were jumping on the bench. We after the game we lost the game, but we were cheering like we won the medal, already. So we for sure wanted a day off. Helps you a lot. Like Germany, we played Germany the next game, and they came from they played back to back, and for sure that we were more fresher and had more energy coming to the game. So and it showed. We kind of we run the show, I would say. It was a strong game from us, and we really won the game against Sweden, and it looked kind of weird. They won a game, but they were sad, and we lost the game, but we were happy. So really weird moment.
What do you hope the showing from your country does for hockey back home?
It's a lot, we're a small country. We have a lot of, people which they think their coaches are proud. They're proud when we're winning. They're mad at us when we're losing. But we bring the Slovakia together. For those 2 weeks, every time the local Worlds, Olympics, how Slovakia stops and everybody watch, everybody cheers for us. And when we have a success, people are really happy, and we could feel the energy. At the arena, there was a lot of people traveling. It wasn't that far, but Slovakia, but still they came, and they cheer for us. We got a lot of messages, on Instagram, social, so we always, felt that energy, and I feel like, it shows like also to the young kids, growing up that even small country like us, you can get, to the NHL, you can play against big dogs like they were, so, that's what I do. That's what I I like to go to national team every time, like whenever I can to just fight for our country. And we're not big, but we can fight those big guys.
Did you have people that like some of the greats that played for Slovakia in the past, like Stashny or Peter Bond or any of those guys? Were any of them around?
Yeah, Gabor was there actually. Gabor was there. I saw like Hossa came, and all those guys. They like to be around. They miss that. Like Gabor was after every game with us. At the dinner, those guys miss those situations. Being around the boys, and we can hear that. Like after the game, I met with like Gabor. He told me like good job, like do that better. So he can kind of like mentor you a little bit. So that's a really nice moment too. Those guys, I was growing up, they were my heroes. So now they talk to me like I'm their friend. So I'm really happy with that.
What were your favorite moments off the ice overall?
Off the ice, I mean, a lot of people say they didn't like the village, but yeah, it wasn't really, comfortable. Like, little small rooms, you had roommates, and, food was kind of overwhelming after 2 weeks, same thing. So, but no, I love the city, I love the moment that my family could come, my mom, my dad finally, and it was the first time them flying, so really proud of them. But, they came, my brother came, my sister came, all my family came, and we could spend some, time at the dinner. I could explore the city with them. So that was my favorite part. And of course, as I said, like we were a good group, of the guys. I had like probably 10 of the guys were my 99 age. So, we grew up together, and it's always nice to come back and see them and hang out and, share the stories from the seasons and be around, and that's what about, like, just be around the team, because I feel like it's different. You're there from your own country. It's just feel different to be with those guys.
4 guys on the Sharks, including yourself, played in the Olympics. What was it like watching what the other guys were doing and maybe going against them?
I mean, everybody knows what Mac was doing. Crazy stuff. It's always like his heroes that, like, at the level at, with Canada. He was he played great hockey, and he was fun to watch. I'm so unfortunate we couldn't watch the game because we were in the air, but I heard it was a really good game. But when we play against Wenny, he did his job. Like I saw like a couple of games, Chevy playing, and he played pretty good too. So, really nice. And we felt a lot of like good energy coming from here, from the people, from the fans. So, really proud about that and happy.
What does this do for your drive now for the final 27 games of this NHL season? What did this experience do to help you there?
Help you? I mean, I would say I kind of gained confidence, in myself that even. That I can play against best guys in the world, and we played with them. Like, it wasn't that big difference between us and them, and just gave me a lot of confidence coming back here, and even more motivation and more energy. Like, finish the season strong so we can have some run here, and that I want to build, like, make my spot, safe spot, like, and have a good spot in the team and be part of this team, and be a valued player for the team. So that's what just my motivation, more motivation, and just more excitement.
Did you feel a buzz? Did you feel a buzz when you took the ice today? There's a little more cameras than regular, and the fans. I mean,
I feel like they were more for Mag though than for me. But it's always nice, and I like that. I saw like a post, like on Instagram, and I got a lot of people from the Sharks, and it's like I'm really glad, that people likes me, and they came here and. Like us, like you guys, there's a lot of cameras right now. So, always happy, that they think about that you guys watch the hockey, that, cheered for me too, and not only for your guys, So no, but really, it was a buzz, and I'm happy I can be back,
What's it like for the team to start generating this kind of buzz? You starting to get on the winning side of things. What's it like just for you, and kind of how do you take all this, everything coming in?
Sorry, can you say it again?
So how do you take all this coming in? I mean, the team starting to generate buzz, getting some wins.
I mean, like around here in Sharks, like everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to make the playoff, and that's our goal. And you just, as I said, I gain a little confidence in me, and I can play with the big guys, and that's my goal. Come to the games, be confident, and play my game, and help the team as much as I can. Everybody wants to win. I don't think any hockey player wants to lose. So, we're just everybody's happy to be back. For sure, those guys which have the break, they're finally on the ice and coming to the game, and just feeling excited about next couple games.
Describe how hard it was to come back. You're stuck in New York for a little while.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. Coming, Team Canada and Team USA flew to Miami. I feel like we could do that too. There was only 17 of us in the whole plane, so I think it was really comfortable. Everybody was sitting in business class, so really empty plane. And it was, at least we were a couple guys who were coming here, Pospisil from Calgary, Warsofsky, and all those guys. We hang out together, spend some more time, try to go to get some food, but all the restaurants were closed. Then we tried to go to Manhattan, everything was closed there. So we just hang out together. It was a nice time, to relax a little bit and spend more time with those guys. But I was just get me on the plane and come here, so I can be home finally.
How long were you there actually in New York?
New York, I think for 2 days. Yeah, we came. They canceled my flight the day, and the next day we all spent in New York. And yesterday I came at 7.
We were talking to Warsofsky after that Germany game, and he wants you to sort of take what you did there and transfer here to the NHL. Obviously, you'd love to score too, but maybe some of the physical team aspects of that win too. Is that what you kind of maybe see too? Is take what you did?
Yeah. I mean, most of first couple games we had I wouldn't say defensive, but they tried get 3 big guys together and play against their top lines, and we kind of have a defensive role, I would say, but didn't score much. But then it doesn't matter. We won the games and we tried to help the team with it being really good defensively. And then finally against Germany, I scored a couple goals, and I tried to be physical and dry selling those guys. And that's what I got to do here as well, right? The goals are bonus for me. I can help the team with the goals, but the importance of me playing is just being hard, win the pucks, have a strong walls, net front, all those stuff, to bring, which not a lot of guys doing. So I just that's my values, and I gotta translate it here. So if I want to stick around with the Sharks,
What was the reaction in your hometown? I mean, it's not a super small hometown, but still, it's not a big city. I mean, what's the reaction back home when?
Yeah, it's every time I'm from a small city. Actually, I'm from a small village. It's 600 people.
Oh, really?
So that's where it's the closest city. There's 40,000. So it's really small. And every time I go home, I feel if I can say it like that, I feel like superstar if everybody know me. Everybody's make fun of that because it's a small city, right? It's really it's really nice to go there. All the people I've been growing there, and they gave me a lot. They gave me a chance. Before I came here actually to States, and my hometown team gave me a chance to show they got me to national team, Olympics, and all this stuff. So always happy to go back home. I don't spend there much time anymore because it's nothing to do there, to be honest. But I always nice. My family always hears something nice. People my mom is pharmacist, so she knows all the people around the city as well because they all come to her, and it's always nice. She tells me they cheer for me. They have. Always say hi, whatever. So it's always nice, from the small city like that.
So what was the buzz around Celebrini in the village, like you said, and maybe on your own roster?
Yeah, even we had a couple figure skater there, and he saw me. He was like, "Oh, McDavid!" He was people were actually excited. Celebrini, McDavid. They didn't stay at the village; they were at a hotel. But I saw there was many people from all the sports that were taking photos with them because they're worldwide know they're superstars, so really happy for them, But I feel like they don't have really privacy. Wherever they go, it's just all the cameras, all the photos, and people trying to get to them. So there's plus and minus too.
Did you get a stuffed animal? Did you get a stuffed animal too, or?
No, I didn't. No, it was sold out all the time, and honestly, I don't even have anybody to give it to. So.
Well, actually, I'll finish off with Max over here.
We've talked about Mac, but you guys said Juraj Slafkovsky just looked like he was a leader. And that's a young guy. What can you say about him and the leadership of Slovakia?
Yeah, they call him Mr. Olympic back home. Last Olympics 4 years ago, I think he was 17. He still wore a cage, and he was the MVP of the tournament. He had 7 goals in 7 games, something like that. So, he won MVP, and we won the bronze medal. Probably because of him as well, right? So he helped us a lot, and he coming into this tournament, and you could feel that. he put a weight on his bag and, tried to help the team and carry the team. Like, first game, I think he had 2+1 against Finland, which, kind of make our, game win. So, you could feel like he grew in a superstar. He signed a big deal. He's a big player in Montreal, and you could feel his presence. He was really strong, like confident. Like, I feel like every time we come to tournament like this, he's like, our leader, because like he's probably like the best, the biggest star ever been in Slovakia. Nobody was drafted first as him. So yeah, you could feel it, and he brought us a lot of points and a lot of leadership as well. But then he's like 22, 21. He's still young, so he probably has like 4 Olympics more. So yeah, he was really big presence. Same with Tatar, Nemec, all those guys. They're like Nemec and Dvorsky, Slavkovsky. They're all young, and they proved they're like leaders already. Within like they're 21 or 20. So it was a really nice experience with them.
How nice was it to get Pavol Regenda back at practice?
Great to have both of them back.
Do you sense a different energy when Mac's back and on the ice, and there's just maybe a little bit different pace at all, or?
I thought yesterday, he was obviously back in the building, and I think our guys got energy from the break. But obviously we all watched all 4 of our Olympians, and obviously Mac plays at a pace and that we've seen here in San Jose, but now we saw it on a national stage where he kind of has that extra gear that guys got to go and catch up with him.
He says he felt fine today, and always you think maybe about the jet lag and things like that. Just what do the Sharks do in terms of just helping him sort of helping him get through the jet lag and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of communication with Mac, our sports performance staff, and watching his minutes and see where he's at. Like, he's the only one that knows how his body feels, and at some point it probably will catch up to all 4 of them with the travel and what they just went through. So we'll have to manage it as best we can.
Are you surprised at all?
How do you make the most of this momentum?
Yeah, I think there's certainly a buzz in San Jose, and from what Mac and again, I can't discredit what the other 3 Olympians did as well. So we've done a good job this year of starting to win some more hockey games and taking the next step and the next level to the next level. There's still a long way to go, and our consistency of how we need to play each and every night. And but we're excited. We're excited to be home. We've been on the road for a while. I can see that there's a buzz in the area. Just talking, and we know there'll be a lot of energy in the building tomorrow night.
What do you think that reception will be like tomorrow when they do introduce the 4 Olympians at home, coming with all that momentum that's been talked about? And I think you guys are sold out for a lot of the next,
it'll be electric. I know that. You saw it when they first were introduced, in January, that there's certainly a buzz, and then what they go and they do. Reggie had a great tournament. Wenny had a great tournament. Chevy, scored some goals for Swiss and had a good tournament. And obviously we saw what Mac did. So I think they'll be, that's what I look at is, they did a heck of a job, all 4 of them, of playing good hockey and helping their countries. So obviously I think everyone will be excited when they get introduced tomorrow.
Do you be surprised at all by Macklin's usage? And how
Not really. I just think because he's just such a 200-foot player, and he plays in all, he can really impact the game in a lot of different ways, not just on the scoreboard. The way he defends, the way he can pick up on details throughout games. We obviously heard what Coop say about, he learned patience in the tournament. So really doesn't surprise me when he played those heavy minutes, and then he goes up there with McKinnon and McDavid, and he's a guy that can play with those guys. We saw that.
Macklin talked about practicing with McKinnon, McDavid, Crosby. He said those the fastest practices. He said being part of your high pace practice guy. Do you pick his brain at all? But maybe what some of the habits were, the intensity of how he felt during those practices, or even what they did drills wise.
A little bit. Really, Mac is in that category with those guys because of the pace he brings. I think he can, if you'd ask McDavid and McKinnon, they may say, Mac, set that pace. So, Mac plays it and practices at a certain pace that brings everyone and drags everyone into the fight, and I think that's what makes him great.
What if the guy's been, how did you see them interacting today? Did they just treat him as normal? Obviously, everybody's just moving on, but do you feel like the guys have really helped him kind of reset, get going quickly here?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, their teammates and there's friends in there, and they obviously support him. But at the end of the day, he's a human being, and he is 19 years old, and he's excited to be back, and we're excited to have him back.
How vital is a 6-game homestand with the playoff push just right away?
Yeah, it's important, right? And we got the elephant in the room is the trade deadline coming up as well. So we understand where we are in the standings and what we've done and how we need to play going forward. And I think we've lost our process before the break of, we just try to go win the game. And if you just have that mindset, it's going to be difficult. So we got to get back to the process and the identity that we need to play with.
So, Coach, were you more proud of Macklin representing the Sharks or representing Canada?
Oh, man, I think it's a little bit of both. I think, again, it doesn't matter where you're from. If you can represent your country, I think that is an unbelievable feeling and recognition that you get to experience. And I know Mac is certainly proud to be Canadian, and he should be. But we were also proud to represent, the San Jose Sharks, the Bay Area, the community around here, the fans. Obviously, he's become the face of the franchise in a sense, and people are, around here are big sports fans and understand that, and they've supported him, whether he was Canadian or he was from from Czech or from the U.S. I think there's a lot of support just because he's part of the San Jose community.
Are you surprised by how, seeing everyone here and seeing all the fans come back? And your first year as a coach was last year.
Mm-hmm.
All these people weren't here, and you were here the years before.
Yeah.
Definitely all those people, all the fans weren't here. Are you surprised how quickly it's come back?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think we've probably, took a bigger step this year than we thought we would have thought we would take. But this was the goal. Obviously, not to talk to as many media people, but the goal was to get the energy back in the building and get people talking about the Sharks again, and I think the players did a great job of doing that. In the first 55 games, we've still got a ways to go, but we've definitely taken a step. Now we got to take another one, and we got to be more consistent in what we do. But I said it when I took the job. When I talked to coaches around the league, they say the Shark Tank is one of the hardest places to play when it's full and it's got energy in it. And people that have been around the organization have said the same. So the goal, was to get there, and we've seen it this year at times where there's a lot of energy in the tank and it's going, and to know that this homestand is going to be pretty much sold out, crowds, and people are going to be excited to see our team play again. I think that will give us another step of energy in the right direction.
What do you want the 4 Olympians to use their experience for this last 27 till you guys make the push?
Yeah, I think just the way you have to play. We're going to see basically 27 playoff games from here on out, and you have to play a certain way. And in those tournament games, the way you have to play is a smart and direct, brand of hockey, and you can't have risk in your game, and you got to be consistent in what you do. So I think those guys, I think Mac and Wendy and Reg and Chevy really got to experience that firsthand in a quick tournament, really.
Is there something about that also within the team now? They've come back, is like you want to have that feeling in San Jose, and that only comes if you make it in the playoffs, because you can replicate it all you want in regular season, but that feeling is only going to come in late April.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the playoffs, again, it's a long ways away. We still got a lot of work to do. We're going to be where our feet are, but as much as we talk about, hey, this is what the playoffs is going to be like, until you feel that and go through that, it's hard to replicate. So we're going to focus on where we are right now.
Hey, Coach, how much of your process has just kind of been more so day-to-day rather than just kind of focusing on kind of that big picture, that big goal?
Yeah, we got to focus on today, and that was our practice. And then tomorrow, 12:01, we'll turn to Thursday, and we'll get ready for the Calgary Flames. We can't get wrapped up and we'll wear a 6-game homestand. We got to go 6-0. You can't do that. Mentally, as a human being, you'll get overwhelmed. So again, we're going to focus. We're going to have a morning skate tomorrow. Let's feel good. We'll have good meetings, prepare our players, and make sure we go out there and execute it, and get excited to play in front of our fans. But we can't get wrapped up in the homestand. We got to just be focused on. Today we had a practice, and we were focused on that. We had a good practice.
Is that your kind of mindset, not just for the 6-game homestand, but really the remaining 26, 27 games of the season?
Yeah, for sure. When you walk in the building, it says on the left side of the wall, focus on today. And that's what we ask our players, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Alex, talking with him a couple of days ago, he said that he felt like one thing the Olympians could bring here is just that that kind of elevated playoff-like energy and pace.
Yeah.
And so have you seen that? I know Alex has just been here a couple of days, also Kurashev. Have you seen that from the Olympians, just kind of they're bringing back that kind of playoff-like kind of energy back into the...
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure they talk to their teammates about it. So you definitely see it and sense it. And like I said, I think our last 2 practices, the pace is extremely high where we got to make sure we save some in the tank for tomorrow night. But our pace has been extremely high these last two practices. In my time here, it's probably the 2, high-paced practices that I've seen from our group. So, again, you're hopeful that it translates into Thursday night's game.
On the power play today, it looked like you made some changes from where the power play was at the break. You had Sherwood up there, and then kind of went away from the 5-forward thing. What is the thought process there, especially putting Kiefer up there?
Well, we think Woody can really help win pucks and 50-50 pucks. He's quick inside. He can get a shot off in that bumper spot. I think Klingy, it can be more consistent at times, but can really distribute the puck. He knows when to shoot it. No one's, give it to Mac or Smitty and make the next play. So we're going to roll with those guys for a little bit here and see if they can get it going and become a real threat. We know that our power play has to become more of a threat. We understand that our special teams are pound to kill. We got to keep the puck out of our net, but we got to get our power play going. It's critical.